A woman from Colorado is dead. Her boyfriend is in custody, and family members say the couple's 8-month-old baby is in Child Protective Services. After police say a fight between the couple turned physical and ended with her death after falling from a New York City building.
9 News reporter Jennifer Meckel spoke with family and friends today who are trying to understand what happened, and they're trying to bring her body and her baby back home to Colorado.
Tuesday night in Midtown New York City, a woman falls to her death from a hotel roof. Family members identify the victim as 20-year-old Desiree Anderson, a young mom from Colorado, visiting New York City with her boyfriend Tyler and their 8-month-old daughter Aaliyah.
When I first found out, my heart dropped. I was freaking out. I was just crying and crying.
Destiny Bailey grew up with Desiree. They've been friends for years.
We were just outside my house taking pictures. We just got ready and wanted to take pictures. Looking cute.
And she's still trying to wrap her head around what police have shared happened that night. New York police were called to the Oyo Hotel for an assault. They learned 2 people were fighting and it got physical. Witnesses say it spilled out into the hallways. People were trying to intervene, help the baby. Somehow, it's still not clear, Desiree ended up on the hotel roof before falling to her death. Police arrested 24-year-old Tyler Griffin. He's now charged with assault, reckless endangerment, and child endangerment.
Usually just when I'm on my phone and by myself and when my kids are asleep and I'm just like, thinking and seeing all these things. So it's just hard and looking at our pictures and stuff.
Loved ones say Desiree was just starting her life, a career in healthcare, and an aspiring model.
I was really proud of her. I always told her I'm proud of her to be modeling because she always told me about that. It was really amazing how she just really chased after her dreams.
And a young mom who loved her daughter, a daughter they said she would never choose to leave behind.
I don't know. Desiree was just, the spark in the room. She was just a happy person.
Police have not determined how Desiree fell, if it was a push, a trip, a jump. Her loved ones tell me they did not know about any violence in this relationship, and they do not believe that she would have jumped. Now they're raising money, and they're working with New York officials to try to bring home her body and the baby back to Colorado.
Yeah, hopefully those efforts bring that baby back home sooner than later.
It's just so sad. Yeah.
Terrible story. Thank you. A jury will be back Monday to decide whether a woman accused of killing her stepson was legally insane. Police say Letitia Stauch killed her stepson Gannon in the Springs, then put his body in a suitcase and left it in Florida. Closing arguments of the trial wrapped up today. Prosecutors say there's evidence Stauch knew exactly what she was doing, while defense attorneys say it was part of a psychotic break.
This was not premeditated murder. This was a psychotic break. That is the only thing that makes sense.
Can this defendant distinguish right from wrong? The evidence and her actions tell you that she can. Why do all the things she did if she didn't know what she had done was wrong?
The jury ended deliberations at 5 tonight. They'll be back Monday morning.
A Denver City Councilwoman up for re-election is suggesting a tax on white business owners to pay reparations to black and brown business owners. Councilwoman Candy Tabaka has not made a formal proposal of this race-based tax, which would almost certainly draw an immediate challenge on constitutional grounds.
Capitalism was built on stolen land, stolen labor, and stolen resources.
Denver Councilwoman Candy Tabaka, Democratic Socialist, posted the clip from the runoff election forum this week to her TikTok.
A check today could not undo the cumulative impact of generations of that stolen wealth in all of those categories.
Both Tabaka and her opponent, Darrell Watson, support racial reparations. Watson suggested private business investment in underserved communities. Tabaka suggested that Denver's white-led businesses could pay an extra tax that would go to minority-owned businesses.
You could be collecting those extra taxes from white-led businesses all over the city and redistributing them to black and brown-owned businesses who are not targeted or who are simply just black or brown owned. And that's one way to give back in the business form fashion.
Tabaka told me San Francisco has a similarly aimed legacy business program. San Francisco's legacy business program supports long-standing small businesses regardless of the race of the owner. And it's funded through the city's general fund, not by taxing white-led businesses. Tabaka also told me the constitutionality of a race-based tax is not a factor because the tax would be considered voluntary if it was collected by business improvement districts, or BIDs. A bid is formed when a majority of business owners in an area vote to create a quasi-governmental agency with taxing authority. The City of Denver's Finance Department confirmed that once a bid is created, its taxes are not voluntary for businesses within the district.
There is a way for us to change that structure and put Black and brown people in ownership positions over our basic needs.
After Sita Baca's post was picked up by right-wing media outlets, her office released a statement saying she is being, quote, targeted by a white nationalist mob.
Sita Baca is frequently the only dissenting voice on some issues before City Council, and she has been a top target of the Democratic establishment ever since she won a runoff against former City Council President Albus Brooks 4 years ago. Sita Baca faces a runoff in June.
Sky 9 captured incredible video of a dust storm near Bennett today. You can see the cars going in. One actually turns around on the median and then they come out on the other side. It created zero visibility conditions, also a few crashes. Strong winds also forced a brief ground stop again at DIA this afternoon, creating delays which can still be felt tonight. Things are definitely calming down, though, for our weekend. Danielle Grant will tell us when we have our next chance of storms coming up in just a few minutes.
Nonprofits in Colorado are preparing for the end of Title 42. That was the COVID-era rule that allowed authorities, Border Patrol, to turn away some migrants at the Mexico-U.S. line. A surge of migrants is expected at the border once that order is lifted next Thursday. The Colorado nonprofit KUSA de Paz is asking for more volunteers. They mainly focus on helping people released from the ICE detention facility in Aurora, but they've also been helping migrants who arrive in Denver since that first surge came back in December. Denver's been seeing a gradual increase in migrant arrivals this week. Already, 2 of Denver's 4 shelters are at capacity. The other 2 are close. Today, more than 180 new people arrived. Denver Mayor Michael Hancock is asking the federal government to do more.
We'll continue to do everything we can to provide the best services. What we cannot do, and as mayor, what I cannot do as the trustee of the city, is to put the city in a financial bind. And I got to tell you, $12 million not being secure that the federal government is going to reimburse us really puts a potential danger or dagger in our ability to provide the services to all the people of Denver, including our residents and taxpayers.
With shelters almost full, the city has not said if it will open more shelters or how the city will deal with more arrivals if no beds are available.
It's understandable that homeowners are really upset by property tax bills projected to go up by 30, 40, even 50%. Some owners of commercial properties have it worse. Nicole and her husband own Backyard Bird Chicken and Donuts in Tinmouth. They opened 6 weeks before the pandemic and they survived its impacts, even buying their building so they don't have to worry about a landlord raising their rent. But they're likely to have a hole in their budget because of the property tax bill they just got for their business address.
$8,000, and now for this year, what we would be paying next year is $21,000. When it is like basically your complete livelihood, and we have everything poured into this, and it's hard to not worry.
Just like a residential property, commercial property owners can also appeal the higher value. County assessors say they listen to every concern and suggest commercial property owners provide the county information that they may not know about, like unused office space.
During his life, Salvador Jose Simano fought for the rights of coal miners in Lafayette, many of them immigrants like him. In 1929, he was rumored to be poisoned, and his burial place was unknown until now. He was buried in a potter's field. His resting place had vanished from Lafayette's records until a local activist tracked down his location through church and mortuary logs. Simano's grandson, David, bought him a new headstone, finally giving the family a place to remember his life 94 years later.
We love our ancestors, we respect our ancestors, and it means a lot. The Simanos have traveled, a lot of them, including myself, but a lot of them have driven over 1,000 miles to be here.
The activist who found Simano's grave says he found additional graves lost or erased from records and trying to get the city of Lafayette to recognize the many other immigrants and Latinos whose grave sites have long been unmarked.
My only immediate dream for him is to be able to come home from school every single day alive.
A movement is bringing thousands of moms to Denver.
It was a nice night here in the 9 backyard, but a wild afternoon with some pretty crazy thunderstorms. I'll let you know when we have the next best shot at seeing rain coming up.
I think we're safe to say we're the highest elevation surf shop in America, 7,000 feet above sea level.
A sport meant for non-landlocked states has one really awesome spot in Colorado.